How to know if your sourdough starter is bad? That right there. Can you see the difference? That's good sourdough. This is bad. This is a little bit of mold that has collected on the top. That was my sourdough starter discard that was in the fridge. That's an active starter. Then, of course, that's a moldy starter. I did throw that moldy starter away, and I still have this, which is good. The only thing I can figure out where this had so much more in it and so much more space, it allowed it to just, I guess it was eaten or whatever, and not allow the mold to form. But I'm glad. That way I can show you what a moldy starter looks like versus a healthy starter and so on. And I'm going to be honest, what happened is I went 2 days without feeding, and I didn't mean to. It just sort of happened. And it would not have molded had I had it in the refrigerator, but because it was set out on my counter and I went that long without feeding, it allowed the mold to form on top. Now, if it had this liquid on top, as seen in these 3 photos, that's called hooch, and that's fine. That just means that your starter is hungry. That was not hooch, what I just showed you in the beginning. That was actual mold. So now I've decided I'm going to try some rye flour to feed it with rye flour and see what happens, because rye flour is supposed to help your sourdough starters really, it does a real good job of feeding it, a whole lot better than all purpose. So all I just poured some of that starter out of that big bunch that, was active and looked good. I stirred it up. I poured a little bit into this mason jar, added a 1/3 cup of rye flour, and then just probably roughly around 1/4 cup, but just enough water to kind of get it back down to a thick pancake batter consistency. Now, you don't want it runny. And here in a minute, you will see what I mean by you don't want it runny, because I poured a little bit too much water in there. And all you have to do is just add a little bit more flour. I'll hush for a moment and let you just watch. Okay, you see how runny that is? If it looks like that, you need to add more flour. So I added just a little bit more flour. Looks like I added close to another 1/3 cup, but also overlook my stovetop. I try so hard to keep that thing clean. That is a hard stove to keep clean. And see, that's a whole lot thicker. That looks like a thick pancake batter. And then I cleaned off the top and I put some clean paper towel on it. And I'm just showing you kind of where it's at. It was at the 500. Now, this is the next morning. No. This was before bed that same day. Look how much it grew. So this was just, I don't know, maybe 8 hours if that. And when I woke up this morning, which I showed you last night, it had reached up to about right here. I woke up this morning, well, it had busted through. And then now, so it done the rise and the fall. So I'm going to take a little bit out and then put a little bit, probably just regular flour back in it. But I'm telling you, if you think that your starter needs like a boost, feed it a little bit of rye flour and it will give it a big boost. Alright, so again, I put what was left of this in the refrigerator, and I'm going to try to do something tomorrow. I just don't know what yet. But I'm putting in a 1/3 cup of flour. Let's add some water, roughly about 1/4 cup. But we just want that, like I've said about a thick pancake batter consistency. You don't want it real runny. I'm trying to scrape this down. Let's wipe our lid off. Put a clean paper towel back over it. I guess I didn't get the right size, huh? Okay, now I'm going to set this over by my stove like I've been, and we will see what it looks like in the morning. We still see where we're at. By the next morning, it only done maybe a 1/2 inch rise and fall. That's the end of this video. So hopefully this video has helped you to be able to identify what a moldy sourdough starter looks like. And I hope you have a blessed rest of the day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. Hey, if you like this video, you may want to check out my previous video or my previous series. Talk to you soon.